So that responsiveness and that ability to adapt was only possible because of all the work we've done leading up to that. We had our own challenges last year in 2019. So in some ways, that was a really good precursor to understand how the organisation and how us as individuals respond in a challenge and in the face of challenge. And in leading into the COVID-19 crisis, I was incredibly grateful that we put in those foundations over the last 12 or 18 months. And those foundations were in the form of building a purpose-driven organisation, having a very clear sense of what we wanted, what we believed in as an organisation, and for me personally, my own personal leadership style. I think we built a base of transparency, of strong communication and clarity around what we stood for. So going in, and to your point around how do we respond to the lockdown, we were actually there before the lockdown. So what I mean by that is that we approached this current crisis in a very proactive sense. So about a week or two before the state, and certainly Victoria and New South Wales, were in lockdown, we'd moved everyone to work from home. And initially that was on a voluntary basis. So it actually started with us testing our BCP. So we wanted to test our BCP with 50% of the workforce. So IOOF's got about 2,500 people. So on a Thursday, we thought, look, let's test the system. And we agreed that on the following Monday, we'd send half the people to work from home. On the Monday, we had over 1,000 people working from home. We thought we'd throw in the other half of the organisation on the Tuesday. So by Tuesday, we had 90% of people working from home. On the Wednesday, we were full work from home. So that responsiveness and that ability to adapt was only possible because of all the work we've done leading up to that. So I think this crisis is a great stress test of businesses, of people as well, both in terms of their own style, but what's their dominant style, and how do they, what are those traits that come to the fore in a crisis situation? So for IOOF, what pleases me the most is that even leading up to the lockdown, there were varying degrees of comfort amongst our workforce around, traveling on a train, coming into work, all those sort of public space challenges. We were in the fortunate position to give people a choice. You can come to work if you would like to, but equally, we were happy for people to work from home. Obviously, that changed when we went into lockdown, but all that work was incredibly valuable in setting ourselves up for what is now an environment where I'm incredibly proud of what we're delivering our clients. And we're running the business virtually and have done so successfully for probably up to 6 weeks now.